Do you really want to know what the difference between the people who actually get somewhere in life and the people who don't is? There's one difference, one main difference. You can cut away everything else. It all boils down to this one thing: sacrifice. It's really simple. In fact, you're told this from day one. You're told this by your parents, you're told this by your teachers, you're told this by your coaches, you're told it by everyone. The people who put in the work are the ones that win. Yes, obviously. But they never develop on that, and they don't really explain the hard truth of just what putting the work in means. And I'm going to explain to you what it means now. Because for the longest time, I was just like you. I didn't know what sacrifice meant. I didn't know what putting in effort meant. I didn't know what giving up one thing to try and gain another meant. But now I do. Now I've had my eyes opened and I've realised that I don't put in enough work. Sacrifice. If you want to win, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot. And I'm going to be real with you. It's not going to be pretty. You're going to give up things you love, people, activities, hobbies. You're going to sacrifice a lot. If you really want to get to the top, if you want to become the best of the best, the amount that you sacrifice is going to give you a good idea of just how far you're going to get. Look at the most successful people. Let's take Miyamoto Musashi, for example. This is where I learned this. Now this man, basically this guy was a ronin. It's a samurai without a master. He won 60 duels to the death in his life. To the death. He didn't lose a single fight. Not once. Why? The man was homeless. He had no house. He had no family. He had no wife. He had no kids. But you know what he did have? 2 swords. That's it. 2 swords and the clothes on his back. That's what this man owned. So every single day, for the 60 to 70 odd years of his life, for as long as he could fight, all this man thought about was combat. The only thing going through his mind was fighting and winning. Tactics, strategy, how to disarm opponents, how to kill opponents, how to survive. These were the only things going through his mind. He had nothing else. He gave up everything. The man was a hermit. He had nothing. He didn't have a house. He lived in caves. He wrote 2 books, and I'm pretty sure both books he literally wrote in a cave. He wrote 2 books in a cave because he didn't have a house. That's just how much this man sacrificed to become the best swordsman probably in history. Do you understand what I mean now? Like the gravity of what it is I'm telling you to do. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't sacrifice something. Let's take another modern day example. Khabib Nurmagomedov, one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time, never lost a single fight. In many ways you could say he's a modern day Musashi as far as MMA is concerned. Now I don't overly like Khabib as a fighter, but I can't deny what what he's done. The man barely ever lost a round. He smashed everyone he fought. Why? Because the only thing he does is sleep, eat, pray and fight. That's literally his life. All they do is fight. It's all he's done all his life is fight. He comes from a war-torn country where fighting for survival was an everyday thing. He didn't have a choice. Fighting was his life, and it still is. The man still coaches people to this day. And even look at the people he's coaching. They've barely ever lost fights. Conor McGregor, in the start of his career, maybe not now, but certainly the start of his career, the man was on welfare. Basically nothing. All he had was the gym. And he went there every single day, twice a day, trained twice a day. Became the first double champion of the UFC. Now look at him, he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. Sure, he's done some questionable things in his life, but that's not the point. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to win, you're going to have to give up stuff. You're going to have to give up your relationship, perhaps, video games, certain hobbies, going out drinking at the weekends. You know, you're going to have to give up a lot of things. And if you don't give them up, you're not going to go very far. I'm sorry, this is just the reality of life. You're not going to go very far. I've had to give up things. And even the things I've gave up, it's still not enough. Look at me here. I'm talking to this camera with, 38 subscribers. I haven't gotten very far. But I'm still willing to put in the work. And I'm still willing to sacrifice things. Like, there are many things I'd probably rather be doing right now, but here I am. I'm sacrificing those things that I want to do. You know, I'd rather be sitting on my arse watching Netflix or sitting watching YouTube, or there's so many things that I could do which would probably bring me more enjoyment than what I'm doing now. But I know that this is my purpose, and despite me not wanting to do it some days, I have to. I have to give up. I have to sacrifice things for me to get anywhere. I'm not going to go anywhere unless I give up what I am right now. It's a tough world, I know. It's hard. It's a choice you shouldn't have to make, but you do. One way or another, you're going to have to give up something. Everyone has to give up something. A man gives up hours with his wife and his kids in order to bring back the money he needs to pay for the roof over their head and the food that goes into their bellies. A mixed martial arts fighter has to sacrifice hours and hours a day to go to the gym and train. He has to sacrifice food so that he can stay at a weight that he can fight at. Many people who have ended up becoming multi-millionaires, you know, they had to sacrifice like hours of sleep something as essential as sleep to get to where they are. If you want to win, you're going to have to give something up. Something you love. Something that you need. Something that might bring you happiness. But if you give it up, if you just give up the stuff that doesn't matter and put that time in to what does matter, your business, your job, whatever it is you're doing, you can't not succeed to some degree. People who show up every single day and put in the work and sacrifice things for what they want, they can't lose. You can't not make it eventually if you keep putting in the work every single day. It's impossible. It's just basic maths. Like, you can't... People who show up every day to, do an MMA gym, and they fight and fight and fight and fight. Maybe they're not the best fighter, but they keep showing up, they keep showing up, they keep showing up, they keep getting better and better and better and better and better, and eventually, they can go and win a belt. The key is to put in and sacrifice more than your opposition. If you're giving up more of your life as a sacrifice for what it is you're trying to do, you're going to overtake people. You're going to overtake people simply because you're putting in more work than them. You're putting in more time than them. You're putting in more dedication than them. Life is about sacrifice at the end of the day. How much are you willing to sacrifice? How much are you willing to give up? The less things you have to think about, the more you can focus on the more important things. I've talked about this in a previous video. If you've got, imagine a ball, and it's being pulled in 7 different directions, it's not going to go anywhere. If the pull from every direction is the same, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay in the same. It's going to stay stuck. But if you cut 6 of those directions away, it's going to go the one direction that's left. That one direction that's left should be your purpose, what it is you're trying to accomplish. It seems like such a simple idea, and it is. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. You're going to have to give up something. That's going to be hard. There's going to be days you don't feel like doing it. There's going to be days you feel like giving up. Believe me, I know. I've been there. If you give up, you just sacrificed all that for nothing. You've given it all up for nothing. If you keep going, if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you'll make it eventually. Just one foot in front of the other. Don't look back. Don't regret what you've done. Don't regret the time you've wasted. Perhaps you've wasted lots of time like me. I've spent thousands of hours playing video games. I can't get those hours back. There's nothing I can do about it. The time could have been spent better, but I didn't spend it better. But I can spend my time better now. I don't play video games anymore. I've stopped. because they do nothing but waste time. Time which I could be better using recording these videos, looking at ways to make my life better, dedicating time to my family, things that matter. Now, I might not have sacrificed enough in my life. I've still got things I need to sacrifice, things I need to give up, and I know that. And I know that one day I am going to have to give them up, one way or another. Because I understand the assignment now. Sacrifice equals success. Just remember that. Sacrifice equals success. If you sacrifice a lot, you'll get a lot out of it. If you sacrifice a little, you're not going to get very far.